Welcome to today's Woman in Power group coaching call. Today is all around fine-tuning your energy, your heart, your mind, your soul, your thoughts, your beliefs. Just like a guitar, after you play it for some time, it needs a tuning. It doesn't mean that something's broken. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. But we also understand we can't play the guitar beautifully if we never fine-tune it, tighten some things up, check the strings, see if something's broken, is something missing, do we need a new part? It's the same thing with humans. But so often we're not fine-tuning ourselves, and then we're wondering, why are we getting stuck? Why are we stagnant? Why are things not changing? Why am I still struggling with the same issue I've been struggling with for years? And so what we're going to start doing moving forward is really learning how to fine-tune and adjust ourselves emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Take an inventory, clean some things up, step into some things as well. So go ahead now and close your eyes. Let's get into the meditation. Taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Calling on the guidance of your higher power right now. Really being grateful that you've been led to be here, especially when you're here live. If you weren't able to and you're watching the replay, it is definitely okay. But when you are available and you do show up for the live, no matter how you're feeling, that's when you really begin to step into your power and your confidence. You step into your confidence when you show up whether you want to or you don't want to in life. That's one of my greatest secrets if I had one. If anyone asked how I stayed sober, how I created the multiple six-figure business, removed the addiction to drugs, alcohol, and narcissists, I always say this: I show up whether I want to or I don't. That's when you can start to trust yourself. It's really hard to have confidence when we can't trust ourselves and our word and our commitments. So part of you being a woman in power, is that you show up no matter what. Of course, if you really need to take care of yourself and do something, you absolutely do it. But I would say 9 times out of 10, you can still show up. So take a deep breath in right now. Let it go. Go ahead and ask your higher power, what is it that needs to come to the surface right now? And will you trust it to come up on this call? Even if you don't necessarily take a direct action from it, but will you allow yourself the willingness for anything that's not serving you to rise to the surface so that you can take a look at it, you can heal it, you can clear it, you can forgive it, you can let it go? Most people don't do this, but this is why most people are stuck. The fact that you're here and you're on this call is saying that you don't want to be stuck anymore. You want to learn to be a powerful manifester, a powerful creator. You want to experience joy and love and happiness. Not many people on the planet actually experience that. And it takes looking at what no longer is serving us and letting it go. And that's the theme, that's the energy of today's call. Fine-tuning, making adjustments, acting accordingly, and letting go of what no longer serves you. So when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. I'm going to change the view on this. And what I would love is for you to share what intuitively just came up on what is it time to let go of. Sometimes it's letting go of a belief, it's letting go of a habit, it's letting go of self-sabotage, it's letting go of self-destruction. It's not always necessarily letting go of a relationship or letting go of something tangible. Sometimes it's intangible. But I want you to just go ahead and just start to share. And that also inspires everybody else in the group to see what's going on. So whoever wants to go ahead and unmute. Miriam, do you want to go?
I'll go first.
Perfect.
So one of the things I really need to let go is checking my husband's Apple Watch and his text messages. At this point, our divorce should be finalized this month. I know he's cheating. I know he's lying, all the things, but he still doesn't know that I'm checking it. He leaves it at home, and it's like immediately when I get home, I go, I look for it, I check it, and I did it yesterday. And it just brings me so much anxiety, and like all the bad thoughts start going into my head. I don't even know if they're true, but I told myself yesterday, like, just stop. Like, you're divorced already, basically. You know he's cheating. You know he's lying. What more do you want? Like, every time you look at it, you're just looking for something that's going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just need to stop. And so, I did tell myself, I checked it once yesterday when I got home, and I didn't check it the rest of the day because I immediately later told myself, you just need to stop doing that. And so when you were talking, I was thinking to myself, that's what you need to let go, because you're just, like you said, self-sabotage. That's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to find my peace. I'm trying to get past this. I'm trying to heal, but I'm not letting myself, because I just keep going back, trying to find more things, which ultimately is just going to hurt me, preventing me from healing and finding my peace. And
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for being vulnerable about that and open. That shows your willingness, and you're seeing this is a problem, if you will, or something that you don't want to be experiencing. And so a few things coming up. One was before getting on this call, when I was tapping into the energy, I was feeling like a lot of this call is around releasing addictive behaviors and tendencies. So almost like a crack addict, like checking to see the certain things. And sometimes we can be crack addicts with scrolling. We're letting go of those kind of behaviors. What can bring you some peace right now is one of the reasons why we do those is because we're eliciting a feeling. So even though it's not a good feeling, it still elicits some kind of hit of a dopamine, some kind of hit of adrenaline. There are neurochemicals going off in your body that for some reason soothe the body, even though it doesn't feel good. That's why logically with any addiction, we can know, I don't want to be checking his phone. I don't want to be mindlessly scrolling. I don't want to pick up the drink again. But why do we do it? Because our body gets addicted to the feelings that go off. And so my biggest recommendation, since I know you have the No More Narcissist program, there's a stay away and stop ruminating bonus video. That's where you're going to go deep into the reason why you're doing this and some behaviors to help you. But the biggest thing is right now, your willingness to let it go, to acknowledge this isn't healthy for you, and then asking your higher power to help you with this. This is where you need the divine intervention to help you pause, to help you interrupt, to replace the behavior with something. But intuitively, it comes to the acceptance of what you said, the divorce is finalized within this month. That's actually more of what's going on. It's the full acceptance of it. And that can be so scary because there's so much grief and despair that can follow that full acceptance. But that intuitively is what I feel like is going on. And it's going to bring up a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions. That is one of the reasons you're in the group, to process and heal together when you're going through a hard emotional period. Okay, so I would go watch that bonus video, and that will explain a lot more to you of why you're checking, even though you don't want to see those things and it doesn't make you feel good.
what was the video called again?
It's in the bonus section of No More Narcissists. It's called Stay Away and Stop Ruminating.
Okay.
Yes, it's for anyone who is checking up on them, even though they know that it's not healthy, it doesn't feel good. It explains why, and it gives you the solution in there.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you. Yep, that opens up for everyone who's going through any kind of addictive tendencies. But yes, sending you so much love. Keep us updated with that, okay? Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. Ladies, if you're able to be on camera, you are not forced, you're not obligated, but it is a way to really be seen exactly as you are. Part of being a woman in power is really, as I was saying in the meditation, it's showing up whether you want to or you don't, but it's also allowing yourself to fully be seen and fully loved no matter what state you're in. So I just want to throw that out, and maybe for the next session or whatnot, but this is a space for you to really be seen, to be vulnerable, to relate to each other, to see each other in a very powerful light. So what I'm asking right now is, what is it time to let go of? Or what is something you're really struggling to let go of? You know, it's not healthy for you. It might be a person, it might be a relationship, but it also might just be a behavior, an addictive tendency, something that's holding you back. It's dimming your light. It's causing more sorrow than joy. And so Miriam just beautifully shared and opened up the conversation. So if anyone wants to follow and be brave and vulnerable and share, we would love to hold space for you. So you can just go ahead and unmute. Bridget.
Oh, I'll go next.
Hi, honey.
So it was a rough morning, but mine's actually on the same pages. I've been working to just not let my family, who I've had to break free from because they were narcissists, and I was in such a long relationship and have a child with my ex who's a narcissist, and I've been doing so well because I obviously have to see them at, like my son's baseball games or family events at school, and doing so well with it just made me feel so powerful and like they didn't hold any power over me. But for some reason this weekend, it was kind of along the same lines of looking at like an iPhone or something like that. I went on Facebook and I've had them blocked for years. And I was just curious and just seeing a lot of this stuff when I had to see them in a game yesterday, it just really like broke me. Yeah. So I think those are the things that I want to work on, is like stopping those bad habits. Or like just being addicted to those bad for so long. And I just noticed a lot of things too lately, like that I was doing the same thing with my ex. I was always checking his phone or his location and account. I just didn't trust, and getting anxiety when he wasn't coming home. And I see myself doing that in my marriage now, even without reason, just because I was so used to doing that for so many years. Yeah. So I'm trying to just cut it all out and stop being addicted to that.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Anything else coming up?
I think just the same thing, just trying to let go of it permanently. I feel and get frustrated with myself because I do so well for so long, and then when I do have a bad moment or a day with my family or my ex, it just kind of, I don't like when it drags on too long. Yeah. And because it does make me feel powerless, or that I don't have control of my emotions, anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Can you see the similarities, right? Other people in the group are, you're going through the same things. That's why I love bringing the group together, because you're not alone in it. And even as you're sharing, Bridget, your energy starts to shift. Your emotions will start to get more clear. That's part of the power of you speaking and sharing and bringing light to the situation. From this space too, the solution starts to come of what to do or how to stop this thing. But we first got to voice it. We first got to look at it. We first got to bring it up. So I would be open to, what is your solution around healing this? So maybe it is the stop ruminating masterclass. You can watch that, but really be open for your divine guidance to come through to help you with this. And so one of the things is that with any addiction, anything that we are doing that we know is hurting us more than it's helping us, is it's a way for us to try to falsely soothe our nervous system. So it's also let go of beating yourself up for doing some behavior that you know is not healthy for you. What you're trying to do is soothe your nervous system. And so you're doing actually anything in order to try to help yourself. Although it's not getting you the result you want, your body is trying to help you soothe yourself. So instead of beating yourself up, you can look at it as actually what my body really wants right now. What I really want right now is to be soothed. I want to be held. How can I try to soothe myself in a different way? And so what I see right now for everybody is letting go of being hard on yourself. As I was saying in the beginning, it's like fine-tuning a guitar. Nothing's wrong with the guitar. Nothing's wrong with your emotions. It just sometimes needs a fine-tuning. I always say with a phone, we understand we have to charge our phones or it's going to die. We won't be able to use it, right? It's the same thing with our energy. It's the same thing with our health. It's the same thing. We have to pause. We have to recharge. And if emotions are coming up, we have to feel them. That's part of module 2 is your femininity. Your emotions coming up, it's not bad. It's not wrong, but we haven't been taught how to feel them. And so what we're doing now is when we have the uncomfortable emotions or we get overly emotional after we've been doing well for so long, the solution is to pause and to feel them instead of beating yourself up thinking you took 2 steps backwards. That mentality is not helping us move forward. Life is going to come at us. We can't escape that, but it's how quickly can you close the gap? How quickly can you just sit and feel your feelings and not make them wrong? So that's what I see will help all of you right now, is to not judge any of the behaviors that you're doing and to not judge any of the feelings and emotions that are coming up, and to not see it as you're taking steps backwards, to see it as you're just making fine-tunements. You're just peeling back layers of the onion. In recovery, we say you don't just take one shower. Good. You got to take another shower. So you don't just heal one level and you're good. You got to look at it again. You got to feel a little bit more. Now you can digest more. Now you have more confidence. Okay, you can go to deeper levels of your trauma. So there's always more layers. There's always more levels. It's not going to ever go away. So we got to get used to feeling the sensations and letting go of beating ourselves up. I think that's going to really help everyone on here. So if anyone else wants to share, let me see. Crystal, I see, type something in the chat here. Listen mode again, time and day. Okay. Yes, take another shower. Yeah, Crystal, if you want to put in the chat, if you want to put what you are letting go of and bringing to the surface right now to really heal and clear. So Natalie, it's so nice to see you on the call and to have you here. Hi, love. So what we're sharing right now is something that we are letting go of. Can you relate with what some of the other ladies are sharing, or is there something else that's coming up for you?
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking really rough. I was working from home today, so I'm just not brushed hair, no makeup, nothing like that. So I'm really sorry. Mine's really similar, actually. It's more about just check in all the time. I mean, you know, I'm in a slightly different situation where we didn't have children together. We weren't married. It was a 5-year relationship, and it was just full of cheating, lying, gaslighting when he was caught lying, you know, and I kind of bought it or gave the benefit of the doubt, you know, leaving, coming back. But, you know, the last time back in September, when I said I was sort of done, he was in a new relationship 4 days later. So that girl was clearly one of the girls that was on the side, that he, you know, he had there. But I mean, he's blocked, I've blocked him and he's blocked me. But what I do find is that I'm looking at her social media because hers is open, and I'm like, are they still together? Are they happier than we were? Are they doing, you know, I know it's daft, I know it's silly, but, you know, it's that kind of one, rejection, and two, it felt unfair as well. It felt everything I'd put up with and dealt with and tried to work through. And I just think I felt really held done by, like, this isn't fair. And, you know, how come he's moved on straight away and he's doing all the stuff with her that I wanted to do that, you know, we weren't really doing because he never hung around for long enough. He was always leaving and coming back. You know, he moved in and out 13 times in 2 years until I said, no, you can't move back in unless I know that you're definitely serious. Do you understand my accent okay, by the way?
Yeah, no, yeah, of course.
Okay. I just feel like I sound really Welsh. Sorry. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Even now, before I came online, I had a quick look, and, you know, has he liked what I've noticed with her? He's not really engaging. They've been together since September, since I last saw him, and, you know, he doesn't engage. And then I'm like, what does that mean? Does it mean he's not really happy? Is he? I know he needed somewhere to live, and so he very, very quickly was in a relationship and then living with her literally within a couple of weeks. So,
Yeah.
you know, I need to stop ruminating over that and just think, like, I just need to get myself into a position where I don't care that whether they are together for 10 years or 2 months longer, or that's the bit I'm struggling with.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. See, everybody's going through addictive tendencies right now. And so again, the stay away, stop ruminating, it's gonna give you more answers. I know you have that course, but the main thing right here is let's bring it up again, is that we're all looking for a certain sensation. We're looking for a feeling. If not, why else would you be checking? You get some kind of hit of something, even though it's not what you like, but there's still some feeling that you're getting out of it. And so one of the things is that empaths, I've noticed, really have a hard time closing the door. Closing the door on relationships, but closing the door on behaviors. It's one of the things it's the downside of having compassion and belief in somebody. And so we don't want to ever fully let go. And a lot of times the insecurity of being an empath is that we feel like it's our fault. We feel like there was something that we did or we didn't do that made their behavior change. That's why they cheated. That's why now they're gaslighting me. That's why now they're distant. That's why now they're cold. And so what the insecure empath does is they try to pull the person in even closer. And they try to change their behavior and try all day until they exhaust themselves and deplete themselves. Usually you'll start getting migraines, you'll start feeling sick, you'll feel exhausted, and you won't know why you're exhausted. What you're doing is you're trying to overcompensate for somebody's changed behavior because you think it's your fault. And so what a woman in power does is they take their power and energy off of the man, in this case for everybody, right? And they bring the power back into themselves. And this is a practice. This is a dance, just if you're learning any new skill. We're not taught this. And so that's why we have to consciously fine tune it. That's why you guys are going through the modules. That's why you guys are coming to these calls, because we got to learn, how do we take our power off? And so what it means is we need to start doing things that make us feel really good so we can get that sensation that we're looking for in looking at the other woman, in looking at the man's text messages, and looking mindlessly scrolling through things. We're wanting to feel a sensation outside of ourselves that needs to come from within ourselves. It's one of the only ways to heal addiction, is the power needs to come back into ourselves. We need to soothe ourselves. We need to love ourselves, and we need to, in a healthy way, start practicing creating those sensations within our body without needing to source it from the dopamine hit of looking. And so now that you're consciously more aware of this, sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. Not always, but it's just to throw it out there only because you're really consciously trying to change a behavior. Sometimes the behavior is right in your face, but allow it to have its natural process of healing and clearing out. And this is why we'll end on this note, Natalie, is right now it's going to be about progress, not perfection. It's going to be, you're more conscious about it, you're more aware of it, but it doesn't mean you're going to do it perfectly or just stop cold turkey. So I want to say that because it's just, if you guys were a client and you came to me struggling with binge eating, one of the things I help clients who struggle with binge eating is to not make yourself wrong about it. The more you make yourself wrong about it, the more you keep doing it. It's like a little kid who's rebelling. They're not allowed to stay up past that time. They want to stay up past that time. You allow them to sit, they don't care as much. So I've noticed with binge eating, you won't do it as much when you don't beat yourself up. So it's the same thing with checking the text message, checking their phone, whatever you're doing addictively. Don't make yourself wrong about it and see how the next week goes. And will you make a commitment? I invite every single one of you right now to make a commitment. What if you tried not being mad at yourself for doing it? What if you tried that on this week? Because I guarantee every time after you do it, you feel like shit. Or you feel like, why did I do that? What if you tried something totally different and didn't feel like shit after you did it? I guarantee it's going to start to clear up. I guarantee in the next 3 months, it's either going to be gone or it's going to be so minimal as you start being kind to yourself about it. So thank you. Thank you everybody for participating and sharing. So this helps everybody because one response to somebody else bringing something up, you can hear your solution that you might not have gotten, right? So let's see here. Okay, Marielle, what do you feel like you are letting go of? And can you resonate and relate to this? Or is it something else that's kind of coming up more for you? Or something for yourself that you need to let go of?
I resonate with what everybody says in terms of my ex-husband, and letting go and checking. I'm at work right now and I was literally just checking his Facebook, before this call, and I didn't realize I was late for it. And I do it all the time, and it makes me feel like shit. And I continually do that, but I also, this weekend, I had a kind of a lot of like come Jesus moments last week, but I definitely need to stop trying to get rid of my negative feelings by drinking when I don't have my kids. So I haven't drank in like 5 days, and I'm going to go to a meeting with my friend today. And I feel like if I can kind of stop numbing how crappy I feel and just work on why I feel this way and how to make it better, it's just all gonna come together full circle to heal from it all.
Yeah.
From the things. So
yes. Well, good. I'm so happy you're at least going to a meeting. I think that will help you heal a lot of guilt and shame that you're unnecessarily carrying. It's such a weight that really can block off your spirit, your joy, your love, everything that's going to make your life really work. There's some things to just clean out of the closet that I think will really help you feel really good within yourself and within your body. So even just going is a huge surrender of being willing to turn your will, your life over to your higher power, who can finally then really enter into your life, into your thoughts, into your feelings. What a lot of us struggle with as empathetic people and people who have been in narcissistic relationships or grew up with narcissistic parents, narcissistic husbands, boyfriends, all the things, is that we pick up on addictive behaviors and tendencies to soothe some of the very painful feelings of feeling neglected and not fully loved and not fully chosen. And so we do things that aren't necessarily healthy for us, but we're doing it because we're trying to make up for that love and that soothing and that nurturing that we weren't getting, that we either needed as children, is usually where it stemmed from, or we're not getting it or weren't getting it in our romantic or closest relationships. And so the self-forgiveness piece, the grace, the compassion is what we really need to infuse right now. Especially you all are so brave and courageous, like actually being willing to do this work and do something about it. This is why I say this part doesn't necessarily feel good. What you're doing, you're looking at all of your stuff and all of the past, in quotes, mistakes or behaviors and things that you did that doesn't feel good. But on the other side of looking at it and being honest about it and being willing to do something about it is all of your joy, all of your happiness, all of your love, and all of your freedom. But I would say the core main thing every single person on this call can relate to is addictive tendencies that aren't serving you. And so with any addiction, the first step is to admit you're powerless over it. You don't have the willpower over it. If not, you would have stopped it by now. You know that you don't want to do it, but you're doing it, right? So you invite your higher power into it. Whatever your higher power personally is, you say, I'm powerless over this behavior and I'm willing to be restored to sanity. I'm willing to let it go. Can you help me? And that's where then the progress, not perfection, comes in. It might not be an overnight change. The obsession might still be there, but I guarantee one day you're going to look back. I don't know the exact date. Just like I don't know the date a flower is going to bloom, but I trust if I plant a seed, I'm going to water it. I'm going to have faith and I'm going to trust it is going to bloom. So everyone's going to bloom at different times, but you will see that in hindsight, your obsession, your desire, your ruminating, your addictive tendencies, they will go away as you really keep giving it to your higher power and you're willing to let it go. Okay. Awesome. So let's go ahead. I want to close with a little meditation, a little fine tuning here. You can turn your camera off if you want, or you can keep it on, doesn't matter. Just go ahead and close your eyes. Deep breath in. Place your hand on your heart right now. Our hands have a lot of healing power. They have a lot of energy in them. Give that healing power and light and energy and frequency and feelings into your body, into your heart, into your nervous system. That's what you're really looking for. That's what you're looking for when you check the Facebook. You check to see when he was last active. You go through the messages. You go through the other woman's stuff. You're comparing, you're questioning. All it is a false sense of control, wanting to feel sensations in your body, wanting to feel alive. But you can start to do that in a different way. It's not so much about blocking them and deleting them because as you can see, that doesn't fully work. What it's really about is just a signal that you're wanting to be soothed. You want to feel love. You want to feel good. And that's only ever going to come from within you. Anyone else who makes you feel good outside of you, they're just a cherry on top. But the less we need somebody to make us feel good or feel any sensation, the more we're in our power. That's why we're in a program called Women in Power. You're learning how to source your own love and nurturing and soothing and validation and approval and joy and appreciation, which you were never taught. None of us were taught that. So we're relearning, we're rewiring as if you're learning a new language. You wouldn't beat yourself up for not being at level 4 or level 5 in a new language after 2 weeks, would you? It's the same thing. It's a lifelong journey and practice. Right now, you're learning the tools and creating a solid foundation that you will carry for the rest of your life of being more conscious and aware of your thoughts, your behaviors, your relationships. Be gentle on yourself this week. Full self-acceptance. Not beating yourself up for anything. It sounds counterintuitive, but does it work when you beat yourself up and you feel like shit and you're mad at yourself for checking the phone or checking something? It's actually not getting you the solution you want. So let's try something else out. Say you check, say you do look, that impulse takes over and you do it. What if you just let yourself? I guarantee the more you let yourself, the less you're gonna wanna do it. But don't even think about that as being the outcome. Just think about it as right now you're in full self-love and self-acceptance, no matter how you look, no matter how you feel, no matter what behavior you're doing, no matter what addictive tendency you're doing, no matter if you picked up a drink or if you checked their phone You checked their Facebook, you checked their messages, you checked the messages, you checked the other women. This week is about full self-love and self-acceptance despite circumstances and behaviors. This will radically change your whole life. And you will then, from that place, start making more empowering choices, more self-loving and self-respecting choices. Not overnight, but little by little you will. So go ahead and just wrap yourself in love. Will you make this commitment to yourself this week to radically love yourself no matter what condition? This is what freedom is. Self-love no matter what. Not just when you look pretty, not just when you're not checking their phone, not just when a man likes you. Self-love no matter what. That's why you're all of us. We're in the perfect space right now. Because this is where we learn the foundation to love ourselves exactly as we are, not just when we're feeling perfect or beautiful or loved or chosen. Actually, usually quite the opposite is where we start to develop real self-love and self-acceptance. So go ahead, zip up your light, zip up your energy, stay connected with your higher power, stay connected with the group. Go ahead and open your eyes. I invite you to make the commitment to show up rain or shine, no matter what. Post in the group, support each other. We all need it. That's why we're all here, no coincidences. So thank you all for being super vulnerable, super honest. I'm excited to see all the shifts and see what comes up on the next call. So I love you all, and I'll be checking the group. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So good.
Bye.